Collectively, tobacco, alcohol, and illicit drug kills more than 11 million people each year. 35 million people suffer from drug use disorders. Humans have this inheritance relationship with mind-altering substance. It's ancient and biological. In the book Food of the God, Terence McKenna talks about stoned ape theory. It's about psychedelic mushrooms our ape ancestor ate, as one of the elements to move the evolutionary wheel faster. If we have conflicting mainstream media or fundamental religion-fed idea about mind-altering substance, you should read this book. Even if you're not, you should read this book, Food of the God. Is vision-producing hallucinogens is the real forbidden fruit? Let's find out. As a species, we are fascinated by the altered state of consciousness. By now, it's obvious it's a weakness and a requirement of humans. We pray, we meditate, we do all the rituals to get close to the other realm. It's our attempt to alter the state of consciousness and to be one with the God. It's one form of getting high, the high form they consider. The mind-altering substance didn't get us in trouble. Misunderstanding how important these substances are got us into this huge mess of raging drug epidemic worldwide. Authorities criminalize all drugs, leaving the gateway drugs, tobacco and alcohol. It's like a psychological game. We created this hierarchy: good addictive substance and bad addictive substance. Anything alter the consciousness, it's a drug, period. Either say no to all drugs or say yes to all drugs and regulate it and be civil about it. Eradicating drugs won't solve the problem, and it's impossible. In the age of information, anyone with basic knowledge of chemistry and some tools can cook up synthetic drugs. There are countless amount of composition available. Synthetic drugs, also called designer drugs, made out of man-made chemicals. Alexander Surgeon, a psychedelic chemist, researched into mind-expanding substance. Anyway, his research shut down by the government. Governments don't want us to be conscious, that's why they illegalize all the mind-expanding substance. Only the substance which can kill us and keep us unconscious and sick is widely promoted and sold around the world. Alexander Surgeon complained that our generation is the first ever to have made the search of the self-awareness is a crime if it is done with the use of plants or chemical components as the means of opening the psychedelic doors. Alexander Surgeon and his wife wrote Tikal and Pikal. It offers recipes of phenethylamines and accounts of physiological and psychological effects in various doses. What we have to do is regulate it, just like tobacco and alcohol, and replace the synthetic drugs with organic hallucinogens. Why vision-producing organic hallucinogens? It has possible effects on personal growth, and if a plant has been used for thousands of years, we can be fairly confident that it will not cause any unacceptable physical risk. Heroin, opium and cocaine falls under organic drugs, but it's highly processed. Forms of heroin and opium is still in use in medical practice. It's like processed food and natural food. Even though it's medically approved, it's highly addictive. These ultra-processed components are very bad for our health. But organic hallucinogens have a long history with us. And it's not addictive as the synthetic drugs. And it has medicinal purpose also. And why we are getting addicted to anything? Anyway, different chemicals released by the brain and the body to feel joy. From enjoying a juicy burger to being in the comfort of a loved one and to having a whiskey and sniffing a line of cocaine, the high we are getting brought to us by these chemicals. Among these chemicals, dopamine is predominant. Dopamine is a hormone and a neurotransmitter. It plays a very important role in our physiology and psychology. This feel-good drug responsible for the joy we feel. When stimulated with the preferred drug, there is this dopamine rush. It's like opening a soda can. Soon it will go back to the natural state. As we take these drugs, body and brain build up a tolerance. And also dopamine level in the body also reduces. That's why we'll never get that first high, the first joy ever again. That's why these addicts always run after this maximum high. There's a never-ending chase. We can't force the addiction out of the addicts. It's not like addiction to phone or porn. It's much more serious. So punishing them, imprisoning them ain't gonna change anything. Once addicted, we lose control of our self-awareness. Addiction is not a moral crisis, but a biological one. Fear-mongering is a failed method of creating awareness. In some countries, users and small-time dealers killed as a prohibition method. Because the governments are already in bed with drug cartels. They won't go after the producers or the distributors. They are after the powerless people who are poor, who are susceptible to drugs, to see joy through poverty. The war on drugs is the longest running war in the human history without any promising outcomes. Along with illicit drugs, criminals and violence grow. Without government's involvement, these lethal drugs cannot reach all over the world. It's obvious corrupt politicians and corrupt officers are involved in this epidemic. In front of the money god, humanity crumbles. As long as people value human life, it's going to be a hard fight. Governments have to take control of the situation and legalize all drugs and regulate it. And of course, there are a lot of countries legalize all drugs. They are showing promising change. By the way, it's not all willy-nilly. They have proper regulations and rules. There is hope. There is proof for hope. The best way to bring down this synthetic drug epidemic is organic hallucinogens and reform the outdated drug laws. This is just my opinion. If you disagree, do your research. Thanks guys. Peace. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like and share with your friends. Signing off, this is Z.